Leo, hello, hi. I am Ms. Mix's Messages, and I'm here to mix for you some messages. Subject to change, or change for entertainment purposes. Okay. So, if you're looking for a shorter, sweeter, to the point, there is no point reading. That's over on the TikTok. But if you're here now, welcome. Hello, hi, how are ya? Okay, we're going to get into that in a bit. So I have gathered here today with me double the amount of decks, so it is going to take double to triple the amount of time. So hope you've got it. What else? Right now it is a Libra full moon, so it's about relationships, okay? And this is a love reading, but it's generally like extra supported with that full moon energy right now. So we're gonna get into it. Okay, Leo. Might also want to check where Libra is in your chart and check out your 7th house, the planets there, okay? What's going on in your 7th house? Because that's the house that rules relationships. Okay, Leo? Leo rules the 6th house, which is about identity, okay? Ego, creativity, expression. Inner child. Happiness. All right. I'm feeling out a very serious Leo right now. Somewhat in solitude, okay? I'm hearing solitary confinement, okay? Confined to your own solitude. Solitude is also, is it solitude? That's the name of it. A game played, a card game played in isolation, not just a one-man show. You could be, might be a one-man show or a one-woman show, okay? And yet, the show must go on, right? What shows are you watching, okay? Because whatever shows you're watching, it shows. Those shows that you chose, oh, it shows, okay? It shapes you. Many shapes out there, right? Circles, squares, diamonds, triangles, all kinds of things. Okay, what else here? Yeah. There's a confliction right now, so to prioritize love or sex in your life and in your relations. Pucker up, buttercup. Seems sex is more in your past and romance and or love is in your future. And we're this is a future-oriented reading. Okay, so we're going with that. But you know, whether it's future or whether it's past depends on what you're looking from. Hear me out. So you see, this is like a line, right? So let's say this is the, how I'm reading it, this is the end of the line and, no, wait. You see? Is this the end of the line or is it the beginning of the line? And therefore, the opposite would be here. So past, future, but it really depends on what you're looking from. So if this is a lineup and there's a person leading the line from here, this person here is also leading that line. And does it matter which direction that it's going, depending on who's leading and who's following? So that translated to you as a leader of light, a center of attention, okay? Being in the spotlight, ruled by the sun, thinking about like a sunflower and how the sunflower follows the sun and how others, in a way, are sunflowers to you or towards you, the sun, okay? In rotation, following you, watching, I don't want to say your every move, but like watching you, okay? So to lead by example and to think of children, okay? If Leo is represented by and with the sun card, which has a child riding, I don't know if it's a horse or a mystical creature, but has a child in it. So leading from the heart, kind of childishly, you might not have children, you might have children, but to think about children, okay, and to act or be how like respect, like with respect to there being children present, okay? And this is also directly correspondent or related to your inner child and your relationship to children, to do with childhood, okay? Children. Do we have everything? Is everyone here? Oh, I pulled you 5 from this? That's interesting. But there are no mistakes in life, right? Okay. So how like love or sexual energy works too, it's just like, oh my goodness, you just kind of like forget and you get caught up in it, and bam, you have all of this that happened and you don't even know how that happened, which can be great, but it can also be, oops, you know, you just wanted to have 1 child or 1 card, and then now there's 5, and now what do you do, or whatever. You go with it. So we're gonna go with it. I just feel a little bad because you're like getting this bonus, but it's okay. So this, your erotic card here, we've got Gemini energy, the moon energy. Number 19 could be an age, also a date, okay, of importance. That number could be significant. We've got the heart chakra here, energy, Anahata. The inscription is the promise of unending love. Again, living from the heart, Leo, okay? We've got the moon here. We are in the full moon energy right now. The moon, your moon sign also relates to your heart, okay? So I'm really curious about these accidents, these happy accidents. So in the past, we've got soul. It's going to be a lot to take, but I think you can handle it, okay? And if this isn't children, they're still children. They're your babies. They're your projects. They're your things that have got going on or you're juggling, okay? So these 5 different things. So to acknowledge that each of these different things are their own individual people, okay? Different projects that you've got going on, okay? Things on your plate, okay? So you got the meat, the potatoes, the vegetables, I don't know, the sauce, and the decor. I don't know. Okay, things on your plate. You got carrots, you got peas, you got steak, you got potatoes, you got gravy. You get it? Okay, and they're all equally important, okay? I feel like they're all equally important. We're not picking favorites here. So, I'll tell you what I see. I've got soul, illusion, Cupid, let go, and past lives. So, what I wanted to say earlier with that blah, 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 blah about the past and the future and the perspective and the leadership is, what if, you know, everything from the past was actually influenced by the future and not the other way around? So normally it's like everything from the future is actually influenced by the past. So for example, the reason that while we're on children, if you're not comfortable with that analogy, we'll think about a plant, okay? So why the child grows to be an adult, or why the seed grows to be a full apple tree, right? Is it because the seed was planted, okay, in the ground, okay, or in the womb? And that past seed being planted is what influenced the growing up. And it also grows down, by the way, with roots, okay? Or was it because in the future, that tree was already grown and that child was already an adult? And that's what influenced the seed to be planted, because somewhere in the future, that tree was already a tree. That adult was already an adult, right? So we've got past lives. Let go of past lives, okay? Hearing past lies, the past lies, okay? Cupid, in the present moment, okay? Illusion, so the past is also the future, just as the future is the past, depending on your perspective, okay? And with Cupid here in the center of the reading, it's kind of like how your life decides to go, whether it's past or future, okay, whatever direction, let it be fun, okay? With Cupid, like, pew, 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 firing those arrows, that eros, to go in whatsoever directions, right? There's not an order, there's not a structure, it's totally chaotic. And we've got soul. So soul in ancient Egyptian mythology, they thought that the soul was the heart itself. So to consult the heart of the situation, the heart of the matter, your heart, okay? And to bring in past lives, okay, the past life would connect to having a heavy heart. Now in Egyptian mythology, the advice, okay, or the way of their lifestyle, their mythology was to live your life with your heart and your lifestyle as an extension of your heart, okay? Because the heart was the breath, was the soul, right? To live a life that was as light as a feather, the feather being the feather of Ma'at, or truth and justice, of divine law and order, okay? Living life as light as a feather. And if there was a heavy heart, if you think about the heart of a situation, that heart would be inevitably devoured by this hybrid, that's the correct word, hybrid goddess that would send it to oblivion in the abyss, to not exist. Okay. So, let's see. The promise of an unending love here we have. So, this is a timeless reading. This is a timeless timeline. I don't know how much more I can emphasize that, but that promise of something that is not going to end. So I'm seeing like an infinity symbol here, the number 8. And if you think about, there's a snake called the Obubububububububu snake. But there's many depictions of a snake that moves in that 8, figure 8. And in yoga crossed over too, it's how our chakras have movement through the heart is as its center point. Like a time, the sand timer too, okay? The flow of energy, so below and as above, okay? So the promise of unending love. It's a love that never ends, okay? And the only thing that will get in the way of that unending love is blockages. And things that can create blockages in the heart or anywhere else are things like illusions, okay? They make us ill. Past lies, like a heaviness, that heavy heart, okay? Holding on rather than letting go. Although sometimes it takes a tremendous amount of strength to hold on. With regards to alchemy or alchemizing, you got to hold on to something, right? When you're like, let's say, like creating something like pottery, you got to hold on to that until it creates or becomes something new. So with regards to holding on to something, you might be doing that because you know you are capable of making it into something new, despite like how heavy it might be of a burden to bear. You're bearing it because you understand the process of alchemy. Resurrection, okay? Through destruction is therefore creation. So our timeline here, let's start in the center, okay? We've got strength, that's you, but in reverse. So your weakness being your strength, or feeling not strong right now, kind of weak, vulnerable, you could say. So we're gonna look at what's mirror, what's on the side of that. And we've got the Queen of Wands, it's you. And we've got the World, okay? Seemingly the world being against you, or feeling like the world is against you. Everything is in darkness right now, okay? But we do have the Four of Chalices in reverse. So disappointment in the past seems to be the only light that is on, is disappointment. How things did not work out. So Seven of Chalices is the exploration of your feelings. So let's say the lights are out, okay? You're able to more tune into your feelings when you are not blinded by the light, let's say, okay? So darkness or not seeing is not necessarily negative. Got the Ten of Wings, having difficulty with this new exploration of things. In the near future, illusion. So again, we've got illusion twice. In the past and in the future, illusion, okay? Illness. So pursuing a dream or a goal, okay? So the moon here also represents illusions or delusions, hopes or dreams as well. Soothing. The heart can deceive us. The heart can be deceiving, but the heart is also the source of all power, right? Our emotions. So to pursue a dream, to pursue a feeling, you know, you have a feeling about something, to pursue that to your wit's end, to not give up on that dream, on that thing, can create sickness, blockages. But then you get to work through those blockages, work through that sickness, find new resolution and solutions. illness is but a solution only presenting itself as illness initially. What appears to be, so it's an illusion that there is illusion. So what appears to be setback is actually opportunity, if given that grace, okay? So in the center of the reading here with our enchanted love, we've got the Queen of Shells, the empath. So feeling things out. This is Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy, empath, okay? So the path of empathy, okay? To empathize, to feel things out, and to have a guided, heart-guided path. So shells being emotions. Emotions, usually people think about the heart. It really has more to do with your sexual energy, okay? Your svaristana, okay? Your creative flow. Recent past, okay? But again, past and present. So, ooh, I like this a lot, Leo. We've got 2 sevens, okay? They're both sevens. 7 of shells and 7 of gems. Frustration and illusion, okay? There might be like a... You don't know what's real and what's fake. It's all real and it's all fake. Both of these realities are the truth, and that's frustrating. But both sevens. We are in a year 7 right now, 2023, okay? Added up or broken down. 3 and 2 and 2 is the number 7. 7 heaven, 7-11, okay? A lot of spirituality connected with the number 7. Okay, we've got the color orange here. We've got some shells. Okay, I'm seeing these shells as feminine parts. Okay, 7 of gems being like the pursuit, the sexual pursuit of these females, future or past. Okay. There might be some wanting to cross over, like enjoying your past and wanting to bring it into the future, or like your idea of the future, you want to bring it into the past, like reel it in to the past. And, you know, if you overshoot, maybe it'll land in the present, right? And that's the saying is like shoot and reach for the stars, and if you miss, at least you'll land among them or something like that. So 10 of wings, difficulty in the far out future, okay? I'm thinking now of like sports metaphor. So missing your target, the goals or the dreams that you're shooting for, okay? Maybe you're shooting like outside, out of bounds, okay? You're far out shooting. So moving closer to your target rather than like overshooting and hurting yourself. Hockey, whatever it is that you're shooting for, okay? Towards the goal that you have. So moving closer towards that goal rather than working harder, work smarter kind of a thing. But when you're in your heart, when you're in it, it's just the frustration, the emotion, right? It can be difficult, maybe sometimes impossible to think of these things. I know, I get it. So we've also got here, we've got a 9 and a 10. That's pretty cool. 2 sevens, a 9 and a 10. And if we were playing like a game of runny, I think that would be like a cha-ching, you know, woohoo. Oh, no, we're missing an 8, so we don't quite got a run. That's all right. We got double sevens. We got 7, 9, and 10, but missing the 8. But the 8 is still present there with the snake there and the as above and so below with the chakra, right? So 9 of gems is independence, okay? Having some difficulty in your singlehood with being independent, okay? Maybe experiencing some sort of dependence or having difficulty like being away from that which you love or those whom you love or on your own, okay? Disappointment, maybe being independent has just led to disappointments, okay? But then maybe being with someone is also equally difficult, working with them in whatever regard. Let's take a look at what's going on in the heart. In the past, you wanted to make this like right away, like let it be known, okay? The devil, dancing with the devil, okay? But it was pushed aside kind of because like the devil isn't always so bad. The devil is our pleasures. Devil is Capricorn energy, okay? Devil is like the lover's energy when it is gone toxic, to use that word terminology, or codependent, okay? We have 2 dependents. They are co-dependent, co-piloting. They're dependent on each other to co-pilot, okay? It's about sacrifice, okay? Now, as far into the past or perspective, we're going to go to the beginning or the other end of the line, okay? We've got Prince Swords here. This is Gemini energy. This is communication, okay? This is, yeah, having a goal and going for it, but this is communicating the ideas, okay? And then we've got Four of Swords, resting. I hear resting on our laurels. We've got Eight of Cups, okay, which is walking away, moving away from some codependency, from some co-conspiring to be on your own, to be with yourself, frustrated. And in the center of the reading, we've got the Seven of Cups. Yeah. Which direction do you go? Oh, so many options. Exploration, the exploration of feelings or of paths. How much time do you got to explore these various ventures, avenues, projects, as we first laid out, right? Those 5 children or projects or things on your plate, right? Do you go for the potatoes first, or like, do you mix it all up? Like, what are we going to do about these ingredients? Like, or are they each separate on their own? Like, how do you eat what's on your plate, or deal with these projects, right? So that Gemini energy is a great multitasker to see where in your chart Gemini is, but also how you communicate and can work with that multitasking energy is in the 3rd house, okay? So to see how to go about doing that. Now with past life, I said it was pretty heavy. In the center of the reading here, we've got 7 of Arrows. So this is a sneakiness, okay? Being deceptive, sneaking around, or feeling like ashamed, okay? Because why do people sneak around, right? Because they're ashamed or they're scared, right? That's why they're being sneaky or sneaking around. That's why people are deceptive or they're deceiving, right? There's a shame associated with that. So in the recent past, we've got Grace. I'm hearing the song Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wench like me, was lost and then found, da 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 da. Hearing that sound, okay? Yeah, when that feeling of being at a loss or lost in that darkness, right? You can hear when you're lost. You can hear the sound when you're lost, looking to be found. Listen to the sound. And if you can't hear anything outside, look inside. Your heart beating. You alive. Yeah. Okay. So, further in the past here, beside Grace, Amazing Grace, we've got Desire, okay? Graceful desire, okay? Keeping stoked that their fire. Future, we've got Cleopatra and Caesar. Sees her salad, know what I'm saying? But also Caesar salad. Ooh, with bacon bits. Croutons, okay? So the Empress, this is fertility. This is being very, very fertile. Okay? Which that was the first thing, you know, those 5 individual, equally important ingredients, projects. After that, we got the Prince of Cups. So we got some very young energy, young male, young female, but very, very young, naive, inexperienced, okay? Which can be very beautiful, right? Because they don't know the disappointments of this world. They're just like eager and excited to get going. Okay? This could be someone outside of you. This could be lost aspects or fragmented parts of you or things that you need to get in touch with yourself. Again, timeless timeline. So to look back at your inner child, or when you were like 7. We saw a couple 7s here. We saw a 9, 10, okay? Younger years, okay? 3 years old. Might be easier to look inside than outside, or maybe it's easier to look outside than inside, right? So the Prince of Cups and the Prince of Swords there, it's communicating, saying things for the first time, learning a new language, okay? Being vulnerable, like making mistakes. Feeling embarrassed, okay? Like learning to dance, tripping over your own 2 feet, okay? And then being like ashamed about that, or letting it be a part of the dance, part of the trek, the trip, the journey. And then the Prince of Cups is about feelings. And we don't know what's here. It kind of looks like a bib, but I kind of feel like he's got a baby under there. I don't know why. Or like he's sneaking something into the party. We got that sneakiness. Sneaking a baby? What's under that bib? Do you see it? What do we think's under that bib in the future? Got some big feelings. What else here? This is all, it would appear. So we've got our track. Okay, 5 paths, 5 projects, all equally important, and the promise of unending love. Okay, a love that never ends. Okay, 25 on the clock. Okay, this is what I've got for you, Leo placements. Enjoy that process of self-discovery, of going down these various different avenues. Maybe not literally, it could just be like in idealization, like thinking of it, like to think before you're doing, okay, or feeling it out, like as a fire sign, to feel out where you want to go. If you want the steak or the potatoes or the peas or the carrots first, if you want to mix it all friggin' together, just to listen to your own instincts, your own fire, okay? And if you're feeling disconnected from that fire, like, again, like look at your younger self on the timeless timeline of your life, your 7-year-old self, your 6-year-old self. Remember when, okay? Don't be afraid to like appear and read into your past life, okay? As heavy as it might be, okay? You deserve to be here. You deserve to live. Don't go down that road of self-destruction. And if you do, you know, enjoy the lessons that come with it, eh? So, in Hinduism or yoga, destruction is a positive thing. The destruction of the ego. Ego being a concept or a construct, but also more of like literally can represent the body, okay? So Shiva or Om Namah Shivaya, that's interesting. So Shiva, it'll get to the point of what I'm getting at. So Shiva, yeah, destructive God. So destruction is also creation, construction, okay? Death is also new life. So there's really no such thing as death. Like the butterfly that transforms, even not just as a metaphor, like physically speaking. That soul, that spirit continues on. And a lot of times it's not even about the person and what they were going through. Okay? Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, take their life, or it was taken from them, okay? Don't really know. They know, okay? Happen. Oftentimes when it's time to go, there's an assessment that they were needed on the other side, in the ether side. Oof, emotions. Because that strength and that light that they carry in one perspective, point of view, or another, if we think about birds getting various points of view from different perches, okay? And it said, I want to talk about suicide with regards to birds and fragmentation, but that essentially when there's a suicide or a taking of the life rather than going along the natural timeline, okay? Not only is it a sovereign decision of that individual, spiritually it is said, okay, stick with me here, please. If you're fragmenting, that's cool. That's what I'm talking about. So it'd be normal and natural to be experiencing that. But that fragmentation is that essentially a soul does not ascend to, in wholeness, to peace, right? And that they're left in sort of this fragmented state. Now, a lot of these enlightened souls make this decision consciously and with awareness. Because those little fragmented pieces, and I want you to think now, I don't know if you know the reference within Love and Thunder of Thor's hammer that is destroyed by Hela. And now Hela was a goddess of hell, right? A goddess of death. And she destroys this thunder god's hammer. But later on, this, I can't pronounce, Menenue or something like that, I can't pronounce the name. But later on, that hammer is restored. And the strength of that hammer, again, feelings, I feel the feelings. But, okay, pardon me, but the strength of that hammer is in its ability to become fragmented and come back together. And if you've seen that movie, or you haven't, I'd recommend that you do. but it kind of showcases the shadow realm. Can be just like a flicker or glimpse of hell. Okay. And, you know, when the soul fragments in whatever level or regard, okay, it's like birds to get a greater perspective, to bring greater perspectives, and those pieces are all working and communicating with each other, okay, on that frequency, silent but deadly, or out loud, okay, squawking like birds, crows, ravens, or more like a subtle echolocation like bats, right? So as I was saying, sometimes these individuals that pass on are needed for that higher power perspective, okay? So hope to have shed a little light on this dark, dark, dark night of the soul, okay? And often it's the bright, bright, brightest of the lights that go through these dark, dark, dark nights of the soul. And I want to translate night, not just to darkness, but to like a knight, right? And what do knights do? Like they have that shiny armor and they've got their sword ready for battle and they protect. And they reflect in their shiny armor light, right? They emit it, okay? So they didn't quit. They may have omitted, okay? But to believe in karma and past lives and this and that, astrologically or genetically, it was pre-written, it was written. And in the Bible it says this too, that it was written, that this, whether it looks like it or not, was a part of God's plan, and if it's within or outside of your belief system, or just an idea that certain soul contracts, right, prior to the entry into this world. And the soul contract can be seen or interpreted often in palmistry as a blueprint in the palms of one's hands, or in the blueprint of astrology, depending on one's birth time, okay? So it's often believed, or can be perceived, right? Is it or isn't it? What is truth? What is illusion? Right? That these certain things that occurred were agreed upon prior to all the horrible things that happen, all of the suffering. The strongest of souls were decided to be warriors of light in that regard. Because of that, as dark as it can be, it goes like equally as bright as light. A goddess with great connection. I don't know if I moved into the Hindu. We have Shiva. Yeah, but yeah, the belief is that destruction is also creation. And that without destruction, there cannot be creation. This planet to me looks like the planet Mars. Okay, so Mars is about action. Okay. Tuesday, Marty, action. Frustration, a lack of action, or frustration about how to take action. Okay. Mars is also related to the root chakra, being grounded or not grounded. It's okay not to be grounded. Are birds always grounded? Maybe the birds being grounded is when they're flying in the sky. Or is it when they land that they're grounded? Right? There's a saying, like normal to the spider is not normal to the fly that's caught in that spider's web, right? Kind of a thing. So perhaps like a bird's high is actually its low, right? Whereas like if you were to take maybe not a squirrel because there's flying squirrels, but if you were to take, I don't know, like a donkey and throw the donkey in the sky, he is not grounded while he's up in the frickin' sky. No, siree Bob. Nuh-uh. So The promise of unending love, unending heart, feelings, life, okay? Life and death. Yoga is the uniting of these polarities. I don't know if this is a record breaker here, but it's getting pretty long. I believe I've covered almost all ground. But even then, there's always more to dig up, right? So, got more to go, more to do here, Leo. With that plate analogy, right? With all that you've got on your plate, if you've ate it all, okay, to finish this little meditation, potatoes, if you finished all the food on your plate, okay, if you didn't, you throw it out, do you eat it all when you get full? What is full? What is later, right? So saving for later, saving your leftovers can be packing up the food that remains on your plate and putting it in the fridge and having it later. But saving it later can also be finishing your plate, eating too many calories. Those calories become restoration, stored in your body. That's a different way to save your leftovers if you're not throwing it out, right? If you're not being wasteful. I don't know, just felt like a silly, funny for me to share. So Prince of Swords, Prince of Peace I'm hearing, also Archangel Michael vibes, very protective energy, angel wings, sword of truth, okay? It's got that purple cloak, okay? Purple light. And there's a bit of green here too for heart healing. The Archangel Raphael, okay? The color of the heart chakra, Anahata, is also green, okay? So, to finish this story time, was mentioned on the TikTok there is a shorter, sweeter, and to the point, there is no point, in a beautiful way. I mean that in terms of there is no point, like not hopeless, but like freedom. This is all done gratuitously, so gratuity, like free. It is a karmic yoga service, so karma is selfless service, okay? As mentioned, it's a selfless service, our karma. I don't have any advice or solutions. I did provide a lot of insight and information and knowledge, okay? And oftentimes we don't need advice. We don't need solutions. We just need to feel heard, listened to, right? And I hope perhaps I did some of that here today. I was happy to be a witness and grateful to be able to dive in here with you and provide messages, okay? If you would like to make a donation to the channel, it would be appreciated. It is not necessary. It is, again, this is all, gratuity means free. Attitude of gratitude is what it is, okay, and what it remains to be. For the advice or the solution, that's when I get paid, okay? But for this, it's not. It's just having a little story time here together. I'm reading you and I'm sharing. So, sharing is caring. Did I say everything? Da, 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 da. I think so. Okay, so if this wasn't enough and you'd like more, check your other placements. Watch this again. It is as it is. And I'm gotta let you go now, okay?